YouTube check. 1, 2. YouTube check. Check 2. Check 3. One, two, check 2, check 3. Please let me know that you can hear my voice in the chat, team. What is good? What is good? Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 1. Yo, check 1, 2, check 2. Guys, no voice? Oh, nice. Good to know, brother. Thank you. Hi, mama. Thank you. Okay. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Down to the nitty gritty. Let's find out what's going on here. Here. Coming, guys, coming. Okay, it looks like to me like an end of week distribution, and I was kind of highlighting that potential already through the eyes of XRP, but now seeing it on the SPY, kind of looks like it's a demand from the entire market. The daily gap from the prior day's close is just at around 684.40. We've gotten down to 684.61. That might be fair. Let's see. However, we still have your 30-minute closing in around 15 minutes, 16 minutes here on the SPY, which could bring, thanks, newbie, thank you, buddy, which could bring a little more attention towards the downside, but it doesn't look like it would be too far. Tangible target 685 to just about 684.77. 685, 690. Yeah, it's a little shy. But yeah, this was kind of what we were talking about just yesterday, right, guys? The probabilities of a red Friday being, respected, and also, I mean, that, I got to tell you, it did a little more than I thought, though, because this is a pretty large upside, right? You guys are seeing the SPY, right? I have a different trading platform up, and it's taking the room to where my monitoring usually is. But it's okay that I'm moving things like this, guys, because You're now seeing me here in the last maybe couple days here in this studio. I'm going to be in a different place entirely. So I'm going to get that built over the weekend, hopefully at the end of the day on Sunday, or not too, I want to still have a market prep, right? But I'm going to try to be as hands-on as I can. I want to make it a seamless transition, guys, to where I still am live with you and still present. I just, the sound may not be as good until I have it all ready, which just is going to take a day or two. That's really all. Here we go. Now, what's everybody's position right now, guys? Where you guys at? I know that we've been talking about a few plays here and a few of them that have worked out okay. For example, DJT dropping from its, we looked at entry on this like really, really early, down in 11.15s, 11.20s. Destiny, I think, ended up getting in around 11.30. So this has reached already 11.88, pulling back today down to 11.37 and now sitting at 11.53. It does show correlation to the market. LAES is, I have to say that I didn't see LAES dropping as hard as it is right now due to the gap up that it had from prior, from just about Euro Open. It looks like it was sitting. Yeah, we were guessing that it would come down from around 520. So this went up to 523 and opened the market way gap down to 495. Wonder what happened there. Let me take a look at a couple of things here, guys. Oh yeah. Heads up. LAES coming into support here, guys. That's 463. 460. I think I have that out. Yep, it is there. There it is, 463, 460, consistent. Besides this, NUVB was another one that we were talking about, but potentially a short play on this. So the last thing I heard about this was that it does, NUVB does have options, but I believe they were a bit illiquid. Well, you know, with its bias. Right, so illiquid on the side of the puts, well, because it's been going up. Okay, so don't trust this just yet, guys. We should probably keep in mind what's going on in the entire fundamentals side. Let me pull that up for us here. Okay, here we go. S&P 500 raises. Okay, it rises toward record as Fed favored inflation gauge cools. Let's see. Okay, so Wall Street looked to end the week on a high note amid growing certainty that the Fed will deliver a rate cut. What I think sentiment on that is already at 88%, if not 90, or higher already. Actually, let's see. Yeah, we were talking about the gold, we were talking about GLD and, other miners running just last night. And it certainly was until it just kind of capitulated over the last hour. Here you go. I'll show you what I mean. So this is gold reaching a top of about 42.59. It's at 4,259, right? So this dropped all the way down, 4,198. Your daily average low on this is at about a 4,130. So that's not bad. It's not bad. It already reached 4,198. So it may be fair enough to consider that okay. Well, the thing is that it's curious how the market dropped alongside gold, right? So usually gold is a pretty good hedge against risk on assets, but it's everything is a little topsy turvy at this point, team. Okay, so following further news, guys, into large assets. Netflix to buy Warner Brothers Studios streaming unit in a $72 billion deal. How in the world are you going to explain to me that on the release of this news just about 2 hours ago, Netflix is down 3.36%? Yay. It's, it might as well just be the pressures of the entire market. Let me go ahead and pull up NFLX here. Wow. Here you go, team. Time to share the screen. Take a look at that. This is your daily time frame, guys. Opened up. Well, you know what? If it closes like this, it's not a bad candle either. And it looks like the SPY is recovering pretty aggressively right now. It's already above a gap. Very cool. Let's see. Yeah, silver making a run too. There we go. So Netflix Warner Brothers deal faces antitrust pushback. That's why it was a little weird. Let's see. Yeah, I can't. Oh, man. Deal could transform Netflix into a dominant player in Hollywood, but it has that antitrust. $59 billion loan for Warner Brothers, among biggest ever. A dovish Fed rate cut puts the Santa Claus rally at risk. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we have mixed emotions all over the place. Oh, see, let's see what Warner Brothers run if it gets acquired officially, or mostly Netflix. Well, I mean, number one, are we observing a publicly traded Warner Brothers, or are they private? Let's see. WBD. WBD is the public ticker. Okay. There's a lot of mixed emotion behind this, but I mean, so far, if it is whiplashing here. You have the positive thing of Netflix, and then the antitrust thing just came out, and it's like up and down and up and down and up and down. So, and to be honest, it looks like Netflix didn't really. I guess so. It got some upside, but then it completely declined. Jeez. And yeah, I think Netflix could use this, man. They really could use a strategic a strategic recovery here, man. Because if this really doesn't, if this fails here, or the probabilities are landing towards a 94.27, and also, man, I honestly think that we should probably wait until this has a clear road. You're betting on them though, financial? Dude, what if this thing just, what if they just have to restructure the deal and it just drops, and then they're going to be, oh, we'll come back in 2-3 months when everything is resolved. That's like, that's the only thing I can think of. Hold on, guys. I'm reading something. If I would follow Netflix strictly by time, this is a really dangerous thing, because you're looking at a weekly time frame closing in around 3 hours, which, by the way, decompresses within, I'm sorry, at roughly around the 6.5 hour point. It statistically did. It actually did start retracing. Now the target of 105, yeah, let me see what that is in comparison to the weekly look. And are we getting a bi-weekly close as well? Okay, yeah, we're getting a bi-weekly close too. So that bi-weekly, today's high, right? The rejection, it happened later than it should have on the bi-weekly, and just in time for the weekly. So if this is scooching to the downside like this, we are barely starting to accelerate with a downside pivot, and specifically here with your larger time. Let me see your 3 week. The 3 week is also closing, and this should have retraced its 50%. It's the same place, 104.93. We're reaching critical contraction, and we haven't read the close of this bar with volatility. This is likely going to start peaking out of the 15% here at the close of this bar, or at the open of the next one. And we are nosediving. So if I'm reading this strictly by just momentum and volatility, I'm thinking here your next candle, say for example, if we close that 99.55, the opening of the next bar would, most likely come down and peekaboo that prior bar low, and then retrace its 30 to 50%. In which case, we would definitely use like a 104.73 to around a tangible target of just about 106.57 before continuation. So if that's the case, then I have to admit, like I almost feel, yes, this is a nice area at 82.84, but it really would benefit the asset to come down towards $69, $69.05. Oh, man. And if we're looking at the extension, if we're looking at an extension here on the 3 week time frame, this average may actually go up, because right now we're looking at about $11 in average true range for the downside. Should we open at $100, right? Should we open at 100 or 99 or whatever that is? Just we're already at $89, $88, and that's right at the opening closing bases, the 87.36, just about 88.10. The wick basis, right? The range low would be 82.37. So that's, that's your tangible support against liquid, but technical would at some point play. So what happens to volatility and momentum as soon as it reaches these lows? Would we be cascading from the immediate short-term time frame? Then it would ripple the time, the time that it would take to continue to the downside based on momentum and volatility. It's kind of like the hourly time frame is making so much noise, right? So then it'll make so much noise and ripples on the water, on a still bed of water. It'll ripple so hard that your 4-hour time frame would start to notice that type of ripple. So then the 4-hour time frame would also participate in creating that ripple, reaching the 8-hour and so on and so on and so on. So that's what I'm worried about, because this is a macro time frame distributing. So that macro time frame could really just ripple into the larger and restart all over into the beginning, into the smaller time frames, which maybe introduces like a great short play. And that would be potentially entry early next week. 104.42 to just 104.42 to about 107.36. That would be rejection. Oh, man. I mean, there are things opposing downsides here, guys. We're opposing the downside in the middle of a gap here on a 3-week time. Also, that we have another, it's just the opening basis and closing basis. That doesn't really make the biggest difference of anything. Other than that, yeah, we have another fair value gap right about here. And then it would just be what I talked about, the confluence between all of these bars here, the average of the opening and closing basis. I know that this is a bullish piece of news, but it does have mixed feelings. My personal opinion is to wait for this to distribute, come down to an area in which, for some reason, somehow, some way, the resolution will come alongside the support bottom of both the assets, thus introducing a pretty nice opportunity for entry long. But for now, I remain a bit bearish without conditions of entry. Without entry until conditions are met. I would really like a pullback on this. Validate 104.73 to roughly 106.38 for a short entry. And here's the next thing. It's not immediate short entry here. Why? Because we now have to see what, from down here, 97.83 to 104 to 104, right? So that's you're talking about like $7 up, like $7-8 up to around maybe $9 or $10, whatever that is. $9, $7, $7 to $9 here. What do those $7 to $9 do to volatility and momentum in the immediate short term? The rate of change will matter. If this returns the money quickly, but not so quickly to where it just turns into a dead cat bounce, then there is exposure for upside continuation. But if it retraces quickly, then there is the potential of a panic sell at levels like this, having people believe that this is just not going to get any better than what it is. That introduces fear, thus introduces a dead cat bounce. If the dead cat bounce does appear, and we mark off our average high, say at the wick here, because it usually uses some tangible target, let's mark off what that could be to the downside. The target to the downside so far would be 89.17, thus rhyming with the $88.93 that we just figured would be statistically possible. So, yeah. Psychologically, it's confluent. Statistically, it's confluent. Technically, too. But do we have the psychological validation of that? That's the whole other thing there, guys. That's we need to be super clever as to how we play this. We can't just play it. Okay, please be careful with this. I'm not trying to deter you. I'm really just expressing that this is it is highly dangerous. Guys, let me just say goodbye to my daughter. She's leaving this school. Hold on just a moment. Okay. Okay, guys. So if there are two assets, I'm talking traditional assets, American equity. If there are two assets that can if there are two assets that I can say that completely not oppose but can just run on their own on their own pace, on their own tick, that, I mean, 100%, I couldn't fall anywhere outside of Tesla and Netflix. Both of those assets are incredibly wild boarish, right? Almost as if they have a mind of their own. So I have to say that that while there could be, continuation to the upside on the broader market, the downside is absolutely present on both of them. Now, I will say that I'm still bullish Tesla, and originally I had a target to short at either the liquidity bottom of around 451.34, but if that got trampled, well, then that would introduce the probabilities of the 488.54 of Tesla for a potential short position exposure. And the reason I say that is pretty practical. It's that it would be, these top sides are something else. But what I'm talking about is your macro top, your 488 top. That would technically be the second touch of that resistance. I am not sure. I am not sure that this could. I mean, how many times have we seen a major asset like this just run through the tops into price discovery, like just infinitely, to new highs and new highs and new highs day after day at its second all-time high test. That doesn't feel so good. I guess the only other thing to test would just be this. The guys, I really can't. But if we're looking at this, say, on a monthly basis, and this was our all-time high, so then are we actually like on the third test here? Would this be your test number 1, 2, and 3? Test number 3s are not usually the best ones, and it looks like a huge rising wedge. I'm getting a little worried over Tesla. And if that's kind of present here, then it's making me feel some type of way of, I'm wondering if there's a forward move on Netflix to Tesla here. Damn. If you are long Tesla, I'm not discouraging you. Just please be careful as you proceed. It feels. You still have the upside signals. That's the thing. Wow. Yeah, well, I have a target of around 489 or 480, whatever that was. So, and this has never been to 500 before. So, gee. Let's see. Right, I'll take a deeper dive on it, and once I see my targets and the way that I count the upside here, I'm gonna topple it. I'm gonna ripple it, and see if if the cascade leans on. I mean, I don't have to, guys. If you have the time, I don't have to wait. I can just do it now. Do you guys want me to just? You guys want me to cascade this now? Like maybe 5-10 minutes. I just don't want you to have to wait 5-10 minutes to watch me do this. So you let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'll just go ahead and cascade this right away and see what's up. Speak to me. And yeah, okay. Let me take a sip of water here because I'll clear my mind and I'll make sure to do it completely unbiased and without regard to anything or anyone. It won't matter. Entries, guys. If you're long on this, if you're short on this, I'm just warning you right now. I do not care. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this per the chart, and that's it. And well, statistics more than anything. Just a moment, team. Okay. Team number one. Number one, I have to remind you, right, that the earliest entry conditions on this we had were from 382. Now the 382 bottoms on this, they introduced what, you know, from this point, I was saying that there is a probability of moving around 70 to 80. You don't want me to do it, brother? Financial? That we had a probability of moving 70 to 80 points to the upside. And somewhere along the lines of this point here at these entry conditions, for you know, for some of the stragglers, or also for some of the people that were swinging and holding this for further, in this area, I was expressing my opinion about going short roughly at these levels here at 451.34. That dynamic changed just a bit, and that was, I think it was around a day or two ago that Sebastian asked me, oh, brother, I can continue seeing it, you know, no problem. If you need me to, I will. What I was saying is that there is, just, you know, by time, there's a critical resistance around this point here. But if we beat this, then it would really be this resistance here. So this would be the liquidity level to diminish the probabilities of continuing into the actual resistances, 471 to 488. So, I mean, it's so far the move, should there have been entry at around 389 or even 392, right? These were those zones. I usually do that, guys. I usually do this area could prevent the continuation to this, just like I did kind of here, right? Right down here. The liquidity pockets will always be colored that aqua, this teal color. So, should there have been an entry from, let's just say 392, and you took an exit of about this 451.31, well, you're looking at just about a 15% gain on shares, and you know it's a lot, guys. It's like 60 points. You know what I mean? It's like $60 up. So it's not to say that it's ran its course. It still has upside, and I'm still very bullish. In fact, I have targets for Tesla upwards of 6 something into the areas of around 1,100 to 1,500 even, all over again. So don't feel that I am going against this. In fact, I've been bullish it for weeks now. But it's reaching a point to where I'm getting a little concerned regarding your resistances. Number one, I felt that I had a downside back test on this, but yeah, but just by looking at my data here, it is based on an upside thrust. I had just labeled it a little bit different, and the signals were firing off, right around here. So we would just have to wait for the fire off of the signal here just to give us the upside bias. And that would have just been it right there. So this has an average upside. Let's just say that from the opening of this 385.84, the average upside would be around 21.25%. So 21.25% from that low. Let's see. $21.25. Should be okay right there, right? 21.20 is fine. So we had, let's see on the statistics. At the opening of that candle, we had a 68.57% probability that we would reach the average move of 21.25%, averaging into the target of 467.15 from the open of that buy daily, 386.26. So far, it's 90% accurate. And I didn't calculate the average duration because I've just haven't really felt the need to have to do that. Now, the standard deviation on that marks off the probabilities of running to the downside too. So you also have within the present price of the opening of the signal, which was at 386 or whatever that was, down to 19.74% within that area. It's per your discretion, right? But you do have that space for a drawdown before continuation to the upside, but then it flips into the upside probability too, this is where it gets interesting. 19.74% to the upside from the firing of the signal would be just about, I'm going to do it here, 461.34. So 461.34 out of what we've reached so far, the high so far is 458.87. The statistics are proving here just around 98% accurate. I'm curious because that's the termination of that statistic. But I also did calculate the potentials of this continuing to the upside should it combat and should it beat the averages of 21.25 and 19.74. That means that we would have an upper bound of the first standard deviation of 41%. Let's calculate that. 41% to the upside from the open of the signal. Sorry, let's get the measuring tool, of course, doing it all wrong. %41 upside, right? That's okay there. That's a 544. That's a 544.30. So 544.30 would leave us at a 489 or whatever top. Remember that this is confluent to one of the targets that coin has. He said around 537. So the statistic is not the hard number. The hard number is what's tangible. So now that statistics, given that the probabilities to the upside are not part of the 41%, the probabilities to the upside are just about 98% complete based on the average move, right? The average upside thrust being 21.25, and the standard deviation being 19.74. So right in here would be your average move. So I'm calculating further analysis here. It does not give you the further analysis does not give you the almost 70% accuracy to the first, second, and third standard deviation upper bounds. These are just separate calculations with potentials of reaching those targets should you beat the target of the average, and that's about it. Of course, there is a way to measure the probability of running into the first standard, but from this point, it's not uncommon for us to reach targets of the upper bounds of the first, second, and third, but it also isn't like a habitual thing, especially with larger assets. These upper bounds, first, second, and third, the reason why I started including them in my analysis is because I specialized in small cap and micro cap analysis in stocks, and they tend to run at a heavier ROI percentage. You know, when you're in it, you're just noticing this thing just completely just throttle through. And this is why I started calculating the upper bounds. But when I start observing upper bounds within mid caps, large caps, and your mega caps, that's where the line is kind of drawn. The upper bounds start to become less used, as you know, because the moves could just be already so damn parabolic that it would just stop at the regular average. That's the only thing I have to say about the continuation to the upside on this. But just to give you an idea, 80 spot 48% is still my top side on this on a 2-day time frame, right? So 80 spot, let me just do it from that low, because that really is where it kind of fired off. Let me see on a 2-day if it was. It really is there. So let's do 80 spot 48. Yeah, I was telling you that I had around a $648 or $630 target. It's or $700. This is the one here. So it's $695.91. I still have that. I still have that. It's just there are things that traditional price, this is where you add your discretion. There are just certain things that traditional price would benefit from doing and would typically do based on just if it's using traditional price, the guys, and you're making moves here like this. What is it that from this point that you're moving up, what are you leaving behind as inflection points, that you never really looked at or came back to? So the start of this upside was roughly at this point of around 384.61. And from here, you are just breaking above like this target right there at 403.29. You're breaking above the 415.12. Certainly you broke above the 395. You know what I mean? And also, you don't have to do this, but as you can see, this upside here really never actually got down to this point of around 366 to roughly the lows of this entire range of around 354. So this is at the very minimum what we could be seeing here as a pullback. And that is concerning to me because there are a lot of people who are long this asset. So if I'm looking at now that this is only the second touch of the real all-time high, so that also adds a lesser probability of running through that target, as I don't really see this happen much. You know what I mean? So I guess if there's any relevance to any prior all-time highs, then as far as a 3-day time frame, it probably won't do it. It probably won't do it just like that. But let's see, like macro tops. There's nothing really like this, right? We just have such a huge repetition like this. I guess looking at prior all-time highs, it could have been this, right? You have your test 1, 2, and you have your test 3 here, where you have that triple top, which kind of looks like a potential triple top here, just like this, right? And then you have a capitulation to test whatever you left behind. And if we study it like that, then we could maybe find iterations that repeat like it. So you have a 1, 2, and 3 test here too before a capitulation. And these are just local highs here, but I was talking specifically about new highs, even this one here, right? So if we if we kind of bring down your time frame on this and allow a little more space or a little more grain, then you're going to notice kind of that triple top type of thing here too. And this was really a prior all time. I don't know what to make of this, right? Really don't know what to make of that. But it did have similar characteristics. But could this have been your retrace? You have your regression line and also your triangle formation. So this would be an ascending triangle after the downside. So your downside happens, convergence happens, naturally a bullish outlook. So unless we have something built like this for the immediate short or within price action prior to this, then I don't see why we would just have to rush into breaking out from critical levels. I would maybe try to find the zones of the distribution zones where you can then pick up at a better average. It's just my thesis. But now that you know that side of it, I had to explain it like that, guys. I had to explain it like that because that now I can use now I can use a cascade on this. Okay, so yeah, let me do that. It's gonna get rid of this stuff here, and I'm gonna ripple time. I'll do time confluence on this, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay. Now, guys, I remember I'm talking really, really, really in a with non-bias. Okay, so I know a lot of people here are close to me, right? I love you all dearly, right? So I'm not trying to spread FUD, right? This is really just based on what I see. I'm just gonna read the glyphs and hopefully I read the letters correctly, right? From a million years ago in Syrian language, in a Syrian language, actually. Let's make it deeper. So yeah, let me. You hear my voice? It goes out so fast. Let me take a sip, guys. Hold on. Gotcha, buddy. Yeah, I'm like dropping the ball here on both of you. We're gonna look at both of those. Let me put this thing on here. Let's get it going. Okay. Uh, Before I continue with the time with time confluence here, guys, I want to remind you. I want to remind you of this. That that while there is still, and I still believe actually, the probabilities of running into higher numbers regarding Tesla. I need to switch this screen. It's like it's really killing me. Hold on. It's just gonna be 5 seconds. Much better. Much better. My goodness. Yeah, I can't have that change. Okay. What I was going to say, guys, is that remember this, okay? Remember this, that while something should, I still believe on the upside, remember, okay? So here's the thing, though. There are behavioral artifacts. I can't describe it to you in any other way other than this being a person, like an individual person. Tesla being the collective whole is one. It's one, like a character here. This is like your living body, right? That consists of everyone within it and everything that happens, like whatever, right? It's just, this is that one person. So the one person, just like any, and I say one person because it's a collective whole of all of us in this. We, alongside institutions, alongside algorithms, alongside whatever conditions that are present in the macro, make the Tesla price action fluctuate. Because without the social sentiment or without the social psychology, algorithms wouldn't know where to go, right? Which, by the way, the algorithm is built by a person. So the person is now biased towards certain criteria or certain conditions that the algorithm abides by, which creates iteration and creates repetition. So within all of that, there is behavior. So behavior tends to repeat, right? When someone says something offensive to you, that just tends to, press buttons, it makes you feel bothered. Or when you need to go to the restroom, that there is a symptom, or there is a leading criteria that has to somehow chemically do whatever it's got to do for you to know and flash a signal to your brain that has to happen, despite the fact that you are presently in a very important report that needs to get done here in 10 minutes. You can't hold it in, so you go to the restroom. So there is a behavioral thing that happens within these tickers individually at different times, at whatever, maybe they still repeat, and in certain times, because the fact of the matter is that little Johnny and Lisa still have the same classroom at 8 a.m. at the same school with the same teacher. However, they're opposing sexes, two different people that live two entirely different lives that still have their individual schedules, but rhyme with everything. That's what I'm giving you what I gave as a lecture to my strategy students, right? Which by the way is still, guys, strategies in hybrid 1. I'm letting go for a stupid price. Right? I think it's like $200. So for the 18-week mentorship live with me and the hybrid 1 system, the link is in the lounge. Get it. It expires today. So, but anyway, that's what I am trying to have you understand from my perspective, is that this is how the collective whole kind of reacts against everything, So it is part of the American equities. It is part of whatever. It's part of the this sector and a part of all that. But despite the fact that it's within everything, it still has to do what it has to do. So that's my point, is that sure, it could look like it's doing something, but it may not be it. Yeah, guys, does that seem fair? Is that okay? I know that it's such a horrid way to maybe explain things, but it's a way that makes sense to me too. But what say you, team? Does that feel okay? Or do you need me to explain it in a different way? Because I'm just going to start cascading this thing now. Be like, Arca, shut up, bro. Just do your thing. All right, guys, it's okay. You don't have to answer anything, but let's go ahead and take a look. All right. So now that you have those details from me, now that you know that that's my personal outlook, let's go ahead and just use the immediate short term. I'm going to go super granular on this, right? We'll start marking things off directly from the 2-minute time frame. It may be a little restrictive because time is moving on this. I would really prefer it not to be, but it's okay. 2-minute time frame gives me just a sideways bias. It's sort of bearish. It's sort of bullish. So why don't we just go ahead and try a minute time frame, see what that presently looks like. Let's see. So yeah, you have the probabilities here of maybe an inverse head and shoulders, right? But then you're looking at like a weird head and shoulders, and then you're looking at you're looking at a few different formations here. This could even be a bit of a rising wedge, right, guys? So there's a lot of confusion within tiny time frames. I would say that this is downside and probably starts to expand here pretty soon. So if that is the downside, do we have enough to cascade into your 2-minute time frame? Well, as long as that kink is on that downward, right, or any of the 2 moving averages within stochastics are in any way, shape, or form not perfectly to the upside, it's still suggesting downside. 3-minute time frame, right? So the combination of volatility versus stochastics is critical for this. So downside still into the 3-minute time frame, right? 4-minute time frame still has, let's see, shoot it. Downside biases are still present on that 4-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame still downside. 10-minute time frame, let's catch that bias. Still downside on that. 20-minute time frame, 15. I said 10, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. See that kink? Even though it's upside, that's still downside exposure. 20-minute time frame. Let's see if you have any. Yep. Still downside, right? 30-minute time frame. Let's continue it. This is where it is, right? You have undeniable upside on this. So that marks off the last time frame that you'll get to the downside on the average true range of this particular time frame. So average true range on this, of course, we're going to get from let me load up data cells here, guys. If you choose to buy strategies, you can exchange any of the indicators. You can have whichever one you want. It doesn't have to be hybrid one. Let's see, where's your data? Where the heck is that data cells event? There it is. Okay, so average true range on the 30-minute time frame is $2.96, which looks like it could have already happened from the opening of it, right? So dropping to it would have, it just kind of stopped. So 455.27, 454.21, and now if it's still, it's still postured to the downside. So this is going to be the opening of the new 30-minute bar, still downside exposure. We're going towards 451.77, right? Remember the peekaboo before a 50%, 30 to 50% retrace. So roughly resistance is just above where we are now or at this point here. I still have to see if we close. Oh, we also closed an hourly time frame, guys. So this is careful, right? We're around that relative 50%. So 451.76 is what's next from this point, right? So 451.76, let's mark it off. 451.76 would be roughly here at the low of I think that's the, okay. So this is your pivot to the upside. I thought that was low of day. It looks like low of day was around 450.82. Perfect. Okay. So now that we have, wait a second. Was that the last downside that we had? 30-minute time frame? Is it actually? No, hold on. We still got a little bit lower. Yeah, that's what I hate when we have closing time frames. Live time. Let me see. This is still downside. Oh, wow. Okay, more distribution coming. So let's go 4-hour time frame and see what that posture looks like. Yeah, this is still downside. What? Jeez. Okay, let me go back. Yeah, this has got a lot of. 4 hours, 6 hour downside, 8 hour, almost there. That's still kinked right above here. Okay. Let's see this is the 12-hour time frame. It's still kinked. Downside is live. Your daily time frame. Wow, no way. It's still kinked. I need this to give me a perfectly undeniable upside. That's what we need. It's still not there. 2 days. Still not there. Maybe the 4-day gives it to us. There we go. There we go. So this is your undeniable upside that gives you the final downside ATR, right? So I'll show you why. So your ATR 4-day time frame. It looks like we have a new bar. So this is speaking. It's speaking what it should be doing, guys. This is your peekaboo above the prior one, right? Retrace 50% of that bar. What is it? We're looking at an ATR of about 34.86. Current ATR low 418.17. So this is a lot bigger than I thought, which introduces the close of another time frame that we may not be looking at right now. So current ATR low 418.17 roughly. So we'll just leave it right about here, right? And that starts from the opening of the 4-day bar. So is there something that needs to retrace from this point? Well, this is where we're just going to find out a little bit later. So let's move on now to the 5-day time frame, because that's from this low technically, right? We're going to have to find the area that can invalidate that continuation, right? For example, there's a huge gap at this point over here that is confluent with a lot of candles, which I almost feel like could invalidate continuation to the downside. So let's just say 434.65 could be that point, which is roughly around 55-60% of the prior 4-day bar that we're retracing right now. Okay, so let's just say that we would continue to the upside from the 4-day time frame at around 434.65. Let's continue up the time frames and see if we have further. Okay, so 5-day time frame leads to, okay, we still have an upside, right? Weekly time frame, still upside, contractive, but upside. Okay, we still have upside here into the bye week. Yeah, still into the 3-week. Let me see the 4-week. Still on the 4-week. Let's just try your month because we just got that open. Still 2 months. Man, that's a massive upside still. Okay, let's go to 3 months. Still very much expanding upside. Upside still with expansion into your 4-month period. Let me see 5-month. I'm gonna step up the time frames here after the semi-annual. Still upside. Okay, now let's go towards a 9-month. Still upside, and your annual. Can't see it. 11 months. Your annual candle has this. It has a straight pivot here. So let's just say that it were this one here. Can I even do that though? If it really is that, it might have already happened. Okay, let's just see how tall we can go. That would be an annual upside of, and then remember that this is to measure the upside from now. Unfortunately, it would be from the opening of the year. So that gives you around 104 points to the upside, marking off. So you would get an ATR top of 470.29. So 470.29 would be the area to technically start pulling back from on Tesla. Speaking of time and momentum, and it's starting to pull back right here. I mean, right above it, right? So 470.33 is your average, right? It is right here. Hold on. No, 494.78. Oh, nice. Is it though? Hold on. Yeah, 494 current ATR top. There we go. 494.98. And I was just telling you that I have around a 493 target on this. What's going on? What the heck? That's random. I couldn't get it to produce it. Dude. I think I'm going to have to restart this thing real quick, guys. But yeah, 494.78. So yeah, this is roughly what I'm seeing, guys. I guess if I don't even remember, but so the pullback would have already started when we reached the target of 470. We went up to 474, and then it started pulling back. That has a lot to do with closing periods, because at the end of December here, we're closing the 1, 2, 4, and 8-hour bars, 8-year bars. Sorry, and that creates a lot of something. So if that is the truth, then your average top side is reached. This would decompress down to, remember, it's saying here that it would decompress way, way, way low. Right, and we would have to use our discretion to determine where this is going to pull back to. So my discretion is leading to, we probably don't pull back too much, too much further than your 430, 465, or 418.12, and that's already really low. Right, so I'm thinking here that maybe we could, roll back a little bit here. Continuation to the upside would be prevalent here, and get out of the market 487 to 493, and let this thing distribute. So we have 26 days to close the Tesla 12-month. And that's your ATR top. Now, if we use something closer though, like a monthly that just opened, and this has an upside, so we could use this to see if it's going to extend that. Look at current ATR top on this, 498.32 on the monthly time. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. And we're closing a biweekly time frame. That's going to lead about a 56-point upside. So if this thing closes at around 450 or 453, things tend to pull back. So if we close at 450 and we add $56, well, that's 104. I'm sorry, 504. 56. So 497 to 503. You see what I mean? I know that the other time frames are going to close too, right? I get it. I completely get it. But yeah, guys, I don't personally see this going beyond 497 to 503 yet. I think that this is going to be I think that it's kind of a bull trap. And I'm wondering if something's going to be mentioned here soon. As in, is there like a negative catalyst about to get priced in all crazy? That's really what I'm curious about, guys. So I hope that this, guys, how do you feel about this though? Let me hear from someone. Tell me, what do you guys feel? There are some exploding bombs outside. Hold on, guys. I'm just drenching my throat with water. I love it. I think it's going to happen. Destiny, I think that top side is it's likely to happen. Destiny, do you have a heavy position on Tesla? My odds are, they're in your favor. I'm gonna check the. Hold on. The stat. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if you're gonna hedge the play, don't hedge with the same contracts. Find the higher open interest, find the better contract, hedge against with a better quality. Or find the play. It doesn't have to be Tesla. Find the play that is making the gain, that's giving you the win, right? Offset that potential. Don't chase the loser, chase the winner. Right? Remember what happens when you're averaging down as this thing goes, down. You're increasing the rate of loss, right? So as this thing drops and drops and you're adding more and more to the bag, you're making it drop faster and faster, right? Heavier and heavier. When in reality, it would be the better approach to remove 30-40% of the position, should you still believe in it, at the top, before you know that it's going to drop, and then re-enter that 40% exposure when you reach that bottom. So this way, when you reach the bottom, you're not only getting a better average, but you're also getting more of the instrument of the options, I guess. You'll be averaging more options. So yeah, just I know that if it feels productive to do something like that, but I would really kind of keep that in mind. Do you know what I mean? You catching my drift? What percentage is that, though? I don't want to know the dollar number. Give me the percentage. How much? Because I never really focus on. It's rare that I focus on the P&L side of things, like the money side. I'd rather see the percentage. Are you able to tell? And also, the markets what just happened right now? We just got a piece of bad news or something, or what is it? Or is it just because this thing is stuck in a 5-minute time frame and that's ridiculous? Let me know, Destiny. Muffin Man? Oh man. Let me get you, buddy. Let me do this real quick, guys. Hold on. Muffin Man, you hear me? Checky. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Oh man. For the caps. Hold on. I'm gonna give him the link. Let me get rid of that and put this. Audio or visual troubles on Discord. Where is it again, guys? Where do you mute the music? Right here, look. Yeah. Bro, this thing, you see this little music thing? You guys, that's the song you're hearing, right? Let me know. Do you hear this music in YouTube when I turn it on? It's ridiculous. Bro, that's like, I literally rush to make the stream open as fast as I can so I can get away from listening to do 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 do. Bro, my goodness, man. Yeah. It's the infinite elevator, man. What's up, my dude? I just put on an Arca Bulls roll on you because I thought that could be a reason why you couldn't hear me, but damn, we're here, brother. We're here. And it's also sometimes me. I'll bet you anything right now. Financial's gonna laugh at this, dude. Look at this. I'm gonna check my where's the oh man. I'm going to go into my settings and I'm going to go into Windows Update, and I bet you anything there is a Windows Update. You're new and I saw you offer class. I wanted to get details on that. Should I be reaching out to someone specific? Me, brother, me. I'm going to be, look, of course. Check it out right here. Look, security intelligence update I just looked and it's installing right now. Bro, get out of here with all that. Oh my goodness. Dude, me, brother. So yeah, I'm offering these strategies class, right, man? And I'm giving you I'm also giving you access, or everyone, right? Whomever decides to purchase it, you have the option to switch up whichever algorithm you want, right? So this is the newest Alpha 1. We're gonna be hosting live tonight and connecting Alpha 1 to Femex. Well, I can do this for you, right? So this scalpers market strategies is the second lecture. So the beginner's lecture is one that I typically offer for like $100, right? Then that's really, really where it begins. So you begin for a 9-week mentorship at the beginner's one, then you move on to strategies, which is the one that you're about to get. And then it goes on to executions and then conditioning. So 4 segments are typically what I have. I just added one for specific day trading, right? So I don't think I wouldn't say that you should take that one just yet. Maybe if you want to understand like literally what is a candle, right? And then what is trading? How do I do that? What platforms, all that stuff. That's my beginner's class that's going to start soon. So if you want me to set something up for you, brother, I absolutely could give you this Cyber Week discount for like you can build it however you want. You can tell me whatever you want. You can, how do I start with beginners? Well, I would get you into the beginners program. You're going to be called track 10, right? Because I've already had that many tracks start with me, right? So you would be part of track 10, and we would start this off on, I believe it's going to be on, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Saturdays and Thursdays, right? So Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and then it's Thursdays at 6:30 Pacific p.m. and they are recorded, they're filmed, and it's like they're variations of the same lecture, but one of them caters a little more, right? But it's basically the same lecture with just added material for the student. And this way that people that are abroad can actually watch the filmed one should they miss the actual physical class. Yes. Oh, yeah, brother. It's with me. It's absolutely with me, right? So you would catch me in the bottom left just like this, and you would literally have, you ask me questions and stuff, man. I become available to you. I have many students in here actually present. So, but yeah. Let's see. First one is tomorrow. No. But what I can do is start getting you enrolled, because we're going to be starting here in just I think in about a week. Like I want to get this done immediately. So you remember, you can say, I don't want the algorithm. I want this class and this class. Can you give me first and second segments? So then you're securing here about 30 weeks of you and Arca, right? So that can be done too, whatever you want, right? But strategies is usually something that I sell for around $500 and I'm blowing it out right now, man. So just keep that in mind. If you want, we can, okay, cool. Let's do both, right? So remember, send that. I just sent you the email here on the chat, right? I don't want you to talk to anybody else. Remember, you're gonna get emails from DMs on Discord. Ask anybody in here, man. You're gonna get DMs from other Arca imposters saying, "Hey, man, how are you, Joel? Welcome to the team, brother." I will never approach you first. Make sure to always approach me. Okay? Can I sign up for these? Because of the sale and do them later. Yeah, so they haven't started yet. So I'm enrolling the people now. So then we're gonna start at a later date. The beginners though, those are pretty close to starting. So if we're able to find a time within the December, because December is really busy, right? We might actually push it into the beginning of January, first week or something. But if we could find it in December, then you let me know, right? I'm asking everyone. So make sure to include in the email, hey, I can't do December. And you're going to find out that a million other people also said the same thing. It typically, becomes 18 to 30 people class. And we do it in a private Discord outside of this one called the ARC-U for the university, where you'll have, all the added content. You'll have the weekly schedule, the syllabus, all that good stuff, brother. So send me that email, right, to arcabulls@gmail.com, and then I'll have you together with the other students as we go in. But there's another update that just came in. Super cool, guys, with Windows. Thank goodness we're experiencing that right now, right? But yeah. Muffin Man, thank you for coming on by, brother. I'm going to give you here about a week's access to the Eternals team, and that gives you access to the entire trading team, including the what's it called? The night sessions, right? The market preps. You get to watch the filming of XRP videos before they happen, like things like that. Any video that I film, I'll do it during those market preps, and you have the information before anybody else too, brother. So any questions, you hit me up, man. I'm here for you, buddy. And anyone else, guys, take advantage of that. If you haven't already gotten into strategies, take it. So I just hit up the email, and you'll email. Yeah, I'll email you back with the links, because you just customized your own ask, right? So I'll create that link, and I'll give you the Cyber Monday, Cyber Week, whatever deal, the blowout deal, and it's going to be a square pay point. So you just hit the link and get that, right? Just screenshot the receipt, send it to me on the email, and then right away I'm going to give you the access to the ARC-U. So you're not going to see anything in the ARC-U until I give you the role, right? But this is me just having you ready for the class. So you're going to get that welcome email within the next few days. But that's it, man. That's it. But the good thing is that you're speaking to me right now, right? You're not speaking to some crazy imposter out there, man. So that's the best thing to do. I'm so happy that you actually came in here and asked about that, man. So then other people can hear how this. But I gotta say, man, I think like 100% of Fridays are usually less busy, right? But I think everyone in here is a student. I mean, I'm not sure you aren't an imposter. Just guessing. Well, let's see. You're looking at my screen, right? I'm not sure that the imposter has access to give you any of these roles. And the real Arca, please stand up right here, buddy. I know, man. I know there has been a ridiculous amount of scams and loss of cash and stuff, dude. Please remember, brother. I will never approach you first for anything ever, right? So just any questions you have to approach me, and I will answer them for you. Here's another thing that you can do to kind of validate me. I think I have the streamer mode on, and that makes like a bit of a problem. But when you hit the hash. Oh, it says streamer mode enabled. So if I do it, like no one's going to hear me. But, okay. Number one, when this play is off, because I'm streaming right now, it's going to be a negative, like a do not disturb thing. And I also say this, like, why would they say that? It says I do not offer copy or mirror trading, right? Ever. I'm the one and only Arca. And, oh yeah, we're going to have a stream tonight, brother, of, we're going to have a stream tonight, and that's going to be specifically to connecting my newest algorithm, right? Just if you want to come by, check it out, see it. It's all good. It's going to be here live on Discord. I'm going to film it on YouTube just the way that you have the YouTube access now in a private stream. And I'm thinking that it's going to be roughly around my time, 7:30 or 8. Now, where are you, though? Are you here in Pacific time? Or are you Eastern, or where are you? Sebastian, I see you, buddy. How you doing, man? Oh, you're in Cali. All right. So the worst that can happen is that, both of us, the code developer, Panda, right? He's the one that really, really kind of takes care of the floor for me with the algorithms. He may also work a little late. So the latest I think I can come on here, man, would probably be around 9:30 p.m. I really hope not. But it's, that also kind of helps me too, because I'll have my 6-year-old boy. You guys know that already. My 6-year-old boy be bouncing everywhere behind me and next to me and above me and below me and everything. But yeah, so if I don't come on 7 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Pacific, it'll more than likely be around 9:30 p.m. So yeah, dude. And you can also right click me right up here, right? So if you're looking at my screen, you could probably hold on me, right? And you'll see the DM. So you can start a DM with me, so then you know who it is, right? You know forever. But remember that you can, if you go to this area here and you click on that hash, this is going to tell you Arca number 2947. I'm 2947. They the owner of the Discord is typically not 00001. It's a random number. So they generate a random number. That's another way that they trick you, is that it says 00001 Arca, but then it's like you have no moving graphics, you have no substance, right? But yeah, those are ways to check it out, brother. I'm actually in West Palmdale, so I don't hide anything, brother. So I'm just around there, and yeah. But good. Are you also here? You have no idea how many people are actually really close to me, man. Some dude straight up said, "Bro, what? Does your son go to this school?" I'm like, "Damn, yes." He goes, "I live behind you." Oh, dude, Porter Ranch. Yeah, off the 118, right? Yeah, people are hearing me right now say that, like in the Cali way, like not the highway 118. I'm talking about the 118. Where I used to live off Topanga and Tampa. I'm sorry. Yeah, just around Topanga. Actually, Topanga between Sherman and Van Owen. There was an apartment there a long time ago. I used to live there. Then I moved to Santa Clarita, right? And then from Santa Clarita, now I'm up here, man, in West Palmdale. But good stuff, man. Good stuff indeed. I have a local, but we have a few locals in here too, right? I think Ninja's in here. Ninja, are you local? Yeah. From Porter Ranch, it's like a 45-minute, maybe an hour drive. So, but yeah, man, I'm up here, dude. It's clear skies, no bother. There's a service area. I mean, it's like a service community, man. Lots of cops in here, lots of firefighters, doctors and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's a nice place to own a house. You know, so that's what we did, bro. But welcome, man. Welcome. I'm super happy that you're here, brother. You want to take that journey alongside with me. I have in here some OGs, track ones, man, like Sebastian here, Destiny, Tahoe Joe, I think even Daryl, right? Pendle. I have Financial is actually one of the earlier ones too. Lineman, you're later on, right? You're like a track 4. I'm in sunny Florida. No, what I meant is the OGs, right? The track 1s, track 2s of the mentorship program for Arca Bulls. You know, like Sebastian, he's really early, bro. But these guys, man, they turned into powerful traders, brother. Let's get you there. Let's get you there. Really excited to get this going, guys. But I digress. My deepest apologies, guys. I'm sorry. I was about to look at something. Yes, sir. I was about to look at something, guys. We're still kind of declining into your index, which is actually applying a little bit of pressure on everything. I see the pressure applied into Bitcoin too. Your major indices are dropping. NVIDIA is also dropping, so that's added pressure to everything's downside. XRP presently sitting at 203.34. I forgot the targets that I said last night in the video that I was going to, but if I can bring that up. Oh, man, what about that? Check this out. Look at that, man. I mean, we missed it by a bit, right? So that's here 202.41. And this dropped to around 201.36, and it's bouncing from there. So I really, really hope that could have been the end of this continuation. Remember, guys, that I said in the video last night that should there be a break below this area of 202.41, then there could be continuation to test the bottom bounds of even the 196 into 198s, right? All that stuff, right? So let's just be careful with this. Yeah, so that dead cat bounce is so far is pretty good to that target. And you know, a lot of people ended up selling at these top sides of the resistances that I talked about, 207, right? People sold at 230s to get the 198s, 199s that we ended up catching at the bottom side. Thank goodness, man. You have no idea how nervous that makes me, man. You know, despite the ratio and like, oh, your targets usually hit, you know, that like you're amazing and this and that, bro, that does not cover anything. It just, I'm like exposed here. I'm like always having to like pull down my pants and then just hopefully it sounds good. You know what I mean? And it's really revealing and super personal to be able to give out these numbers like all like out of nowhere. We were also speaking about the epic GameStop, and we were looking for entries likely at the bottom range right over here, but it looks like we're still not really getting that downside, right? This is a 12-hour. Let's see your day. Yeah. Yeah, this is your daily time frame, right? It's printing a hammer right now. We've only gone down as far as 22.53. I was thinking entries here 22.12, 20.74, and 19.33. These guys would be interesting for entries. Now, NUVB was another play that we were on, guys. This is about $8 right now. And I mean, originally picked up at, I mean, way down there. So continuation on this, I can't really tell you without my original chart. Let me just find, there it is. I got it. It's right over here, guys. Okay, so we were observing the potentials of entry. Should this be a head and shoulders of sorts in this area here? We're already above it. So if we're going to reach the actual area of liquidity, then we have the 886, which should have been the liquidity color, right? There you go, the aqua, the teal, or whatever. Okay. And remember that this has a lot to do with how the market feels. As far as oh yeah, and BMNR, this is moving, guys, and that's because Ethereum. So now Ethereum is starting to catch a support bottom. I think we might be at that support bottom right now. I'm going to take a look at FNGR next, and also, guys, what was I missing? I had a request, right? We had an FNGR request, and what else? TGL I got to look at for Sebastian. Are you in it, bro? And hold on, I'm looking back through the chat here. AMZE per Daryl, right? So I still got to look at that one. It was Daryl. Are you in? Are you in that? Let's see. Okay, we got Tesla out of the way. WBD, brother, financial. I don't know if you told me that we wanted to look at it or not, brother. So I could still look at it. But yeah, guys, this is that bounce from Ethereum here. We were looking at this, 3,970 as an area of a liquid potential to prevent price action from going down to the 2863.55, which really, when you're looking at this, from a traditional price perspective, once you're dropping, once you're here, you got to look at your other areas, right, guys? So when you're looking at this cluster here, this would be confluent to like this cluster here, and then this would be confluent to like this over here, right? So those mark these zones that price action could come back into. So you scooch up just a little bit, and then you notice another cluster here, and then you notice that they're all kind of connected to each other, right? So this entire block being like, somewhere in the average of like this, right? It's a tiny time frame right now, so it's going to be a little difficult to see it. But just like this here, right? All this from this point down here, all of these are kind of rhyming together. So the point to this is that we are dropping and we hit that bottom side. So Ethereum is very likely at a floor. This is your higher low. You have the higher low W formation, and this introduces the probability of a 100% retrace of your local highs. So local highs so far is going to be around 3,660, which is going to naturally make the equity of BMNR run to the upside. So that's got an opportunity, and it looks promising. Guys, remember that the average is that we found the low. We usually find the low within the first week or week and a half of Bitcoin, right? And that's a statistic that I actually learned from Eric Crown and has worked so good, right? So it's a powerful stat. So keep that in mind, right? So now that we know this, guy. Oh, I mean, look at it for yourself, right? Sorry guys that I'm on hollow candles here. I can just put them on regular now. Let me get rid of the volume from here and look at this from a daily perspective. This is your day candle today, right? So we opened at this point of 3507, dropped to around 3419, and it has a high of around 3662 while sitting at 3478 presently. So if we have further upside, I think we may have already given enough of a back test to this point here, which matches exactly to the low of today's candle right over here, right? Check it out. So if we are actually meeting all these targets, right, that they're, heavily confluent to each other, then guys, I think that we may have a local bottom in for now, and this is probably risk on for BMNR. The downside that I was expecting for BTC and Ethereum, guys, just to give you the heads up on that, it wasn't supposed to be long. It really wasn't supposed to be a long time of exposure to the downside. It's more of a quick downside and then recovery, right? So beside that, guys, let me take a look at FNGR per the request. Okay. Oh man, Daryl, did this happen out of nowhere? Is that really just out of nowhere happening? Look at this thing go. What happened, bro? It jumped from 130 to 141, right ahead of 145 in there, opened up at 145 and now sitting at 151. Let's go. Finally above the resistance, right? I'm sorry, the bottom support. This was all entry in here, and we're like just hovering below the entry. So finally getting a nice move to the upside. 152, of course. There's a heavy ass rejection here at the 153 to 155, like always, right? I get it, right? There's panic in this. There's always a panic in this because people feel that they're probably not going to get another chance to the upside, so they'll just take whatever they have and salvage it. You know what I mean? So they'll sell at the tiny bit of strength before an actual move. But this is curious, bro, because now we're really knocking at the door of all the prior resistances, all this downside here, right? All this support there, yeah, it's got a top side here with this candle. So, and then a top side here with this one, right? Yeah, it's very confluent. So it marks off a very, very, very interesting area to kind of combat, right? So we just used it here around November 18th. So that just, yeah, just about 2-3 weeks ago, we were there. So let's see what happens this time around, but it looks like it does have some conviction here. If I'm going to look at this from like volatility and linear, right? Remember that this just shows you, not the upside, right? It doesn't show you upside price. It just tells you that more and more people are buying and selling, right? So it's the frequency of people buying and selling. And then your direction bias would be stochastic momentum, right? So this is giving you an upside, and on a 3-hour time frame, right? 3-hour candles, this is actually accelerating, man. So remember, expansion volatility, acceleration, contraction volatility would be deceleration, right? So we have right now acceleration heavily on a 3-hour, looking very, very good. And it does have a huge upside on Stokes. 4-hour time frame. Look at this, man. Firing off a signal, massive upside on that. Guys, this better be it. Now, Sebastian is saying I'm left with a runner. LOL. I want it at 10:26. So let's see. Finger always does this. When no one is talking about it, it goes. When everyone is mentioning it, it drops slowly. So let's go ahead and remain influence off for now, and let's see how it goes. Right. It becomes difficult when people start asking, like, Arca, what's going on? What's going on? Maybe I should just ask them to come into Discord, to Discord, right? And then come in and see the analysis, right? In a prep, and then that could be that. So yeah, but it's looking promising, guys. So that 4-hour time frame right here, that's my minimum for a massive continuation. Of course, this just happened before from a very similar area. We got this upside specifically to that same top, but I gotta say this. Right now that we're sitting at 153 on the 4-hour time frame, take a look at volatility breaking the top of the prior iterations. That's a key right there, right? A little bit of a hint. It's showing potentials of, okay. It's showing potentials of yeah, it's showing potentials of continuation to the upside for now at least 2 days. Hold on, guys. What the heck was that sound? Hold on. I just heard somebody like yell, and that sounded like my daughter. She's gone. I know you have a queue, but for XRP, do you think we are bouncing off the support at the moment, and are we going to see the bounce, or do you think there's still downside left? As far as the XRP price, well, let's see. Should we have upside? It's slightly below our. Yeah, it's slightly below our support, right? So let me see how this is looking from an immediate short term. I'll just tell you real quick, bro. It's all good. Wow. Hold on. Yeah, 2 down, 3 down, 3 minutes. Hang on with these fluctuations. They're cool. Downside at 5, 10-minute time frame. Still down 15. Upside, new bar printed, 50% prior bar retrace. This likely supports around the areas of around 203, 340, or around 203, 617. The upside is very, very prevalent here. We're looking at 15 minutes downside 2, though. Hold on. What the heck is that? 202, 353. That, okay, so tangible target on that would be, I mean, we're near it. 202, 353. Okay, this one zone here, heads up on that upside. The 15-minute time frame, it likes to touch the top of the prior bar, and it likes to retrace from that top. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm getting hold on guys, hold on. Two areas that can prevent price action from continuing to the downside. This 203.11, 203.236. This tends to retrace, you know, near those tops to catch that bottom side. What time is it? We have an hourly closing in about 13 minutes. The hourly time frame, 50% prior, 50% decompression. It's right around here. This would then lead 15 minutes upside, 20, 30, 30 hourly time frame still up. Bi-hourly still up. 3 hours up. 6. Let me see that 4 again. Okay. 4 hours of upside. That's interesting because we're about to close this in 11 minutes. The 4-hour time frame may close where, you know, roughly where we are to maybe down here at around 203. It is a red bar. It suggests continuation to the downside, but what happens when this closes is that it would retrace to its 50%. So this being down, it goes back up towards its 50%. So I'm hoping actually for a lower close so that it has a bigger retracement. So this retracement would be upward to 204.30. That's where, that's where it would just roughly open, right? If it opens from 204.30, this gives us 4 cents to the upside. That turns into 208. Hold on, like 208.3. So 208.3 marks off right about this point. Okay, thus converting the 206.602 as a support before continuation. This is tricky. I'm giving you right now about 3-4 hours ahead of time that this is a local bottom, and it does have a likelihood of continuation, of an upside continuation from here. And it also did meet, you know, more or less, right? This is what I spoke of in last night's video. Goodness gracious, I froze. Last night's video, right? I spoke about this this downside here, and now we're bouncing to it. I did have conviction in this, though, right? We were using the dead cat bounce. We got this downside. We're now moving up, and this would be pertinent to maybe the entire market. I think the whole market may try to recover, but I've noticed that so far the S&P 500 and crypto are just slightly inversed. So this might, dude, I'm only giving you a few hours here because we still have the closing of the day coming in, which is going to be in 4 hours. So naturally speaking, when we draw, you're going to get that top side that we spoke of, right? 204 to whatever, what was the top? 204 to 205.72 or whatever that is. That'll bring you back down to validate that support I said. And then the upside continuation would be right about here by the end of the day or an hour prior to it. So 206.60, I'm thinking that you're going to reach 207 today. And careful with that, because now that starts to signal that there was a heavy loss in volume for the bears. So this might actually be the floor. Yeah, we're dropping volume like crazy here on this downside. So take it with a grain of salt, my brother. But yeah, I think the low is in. Any news can change that, though. Remember. Oh my goodness, can it change it? But that is it. That is it. I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't FNGR, right? Whew. Where the heck is it? No problem, bro. Got you. I got you. Okay, so it did resist right at that top of 153, but it still has thrust, man. Okay. Like I was saying, guys, volatility and momentum are very, very nice here, right? Even on the daily time frame, it's great. 12-hour time. AMZE, got to look at that one, right? fired signal on this, guys. Oh my goodness, 12-hour time frame looking just magical. All right, yeah, guys. If it isn't here, we're 154 now, right? If it isn't here, then I don't know when, because this now is showing true attention. Okay. Oh, dude. I heard that freaking scream again. Let me just go ahead and check on that. Next, AM. I think it was AMZ. Let's see. Hold on. Finger always does. Got you. Hold on. It's gonna run soon. Tell me why, brother. Tell me why. Let me leave the chart here open. Okay. Okay. Destiny, be safe. I'll catch you later. Of course. Daryl, does this have a? Why is it gonna go, brother? What are you thinking? Does it have some kind of a? You're asking me to see if it's gonna run soon. That wick there, right? that kind of gave a scare to a few people. I see what you mean. This monster wick. AMZE. Yeah, dumpster fire season. Sev. Oh my goodness, man. Okay, let's do it. So AMZE, let's see if we got the potentials for running right now. I want to catch it in the more important time frames, of course. Okay, let's see. TGL did it today. I'm looking at WHLR as a possibility on Monday. Of course, these are really dangerous. Dude, how much is that one worth? Oh, that 3 hour time frame is a little sketchy. Hold on, brother. And what time is it now? We're looking at power hour here in just a sec. Okay, let me look at this on the macro now. We'll look at it on the huge time frame. We have 1 hour to close. Oh, it's a red inside bar. So it hit new 52-week lows. 23, and that was just about 2 weeks ago. This dude, this candle killed the momentum. But your 5-day time frame is a new time frame, and that is performing a 50% prior bar. It is now above both supports. And I think it's going to come back and back test them, but it would probably make an upside. I don't know how much this can move into. Let's see, 14 cents per day. Not bad. Okay, yeah. So what I'm seeing here is that we're on Friday, right? So Monday's session. Let me see this. Yeah, like Monday's session, I'm seeing that there could be an well, based on proximity, wherever it closes, right? So if it closes near these bottoms, then there is a likelihood of getting that bottom in first. So somewhere about the this here. Let me go ahead and draw them in as a potential area of entry, right? So this would be your risk on zone with a liquidity bottom of roughly at 35.75, right? So as soon as you catch this bottom side and these here, likely this would then retrace to give you that peekaboo thesis, right? So you would go beyond the opening of the 5-day time frame and also beyond the closing of the 5-day time frame prior bar. And this is the area where you would start to determine what happens. So it is a lot of upside. So let's say for example that we open down here 38 cents. I'm not worried about the 35-cent drop. What I'm worried about is how far it can go up at the open of that day. So should it be the case that we can move around 14 cents per day, so that would put you at 50 at 30 I'm sorry, wow, can we really do that? 52 cents? Okay, yeah, what stops you from getting to the 52 cent is this. I think this is going to happen on the coming Monday. This is your top, and your of course your liquid pocket would be right up here. 47.79. to just around 46.84. So exit conditions at liquid and also exit conditions at these points. You can look at it in different ways though, you know, but this is likely upside. So, but it's not parabolic though, unless they announce something. If you, it did an RS not long ago, brother. Okay. I was just going to tell you that if you're looking at this from, you know, expanding and like kind of closing up here, then the upside becomes the better result. And then we would, you know, on that same 5-day candle, we would then just come back and reaccumulate at these lows. As soon as we really reaccumulate, then we're going to hover around these tops here. So, which could mean that we're in the process of building like inverse head and shoulders. And it's there. So yeah, I think brother, catch that daily time frame upside again, just like this one here. Literally just like this. So it really depends on where we're opening, but let me mark it for you. I remember that I think that it would be better to risk on Monday. But then again, I don't know if they're going to release a catalyst over the weekend and then bam, it's gone. You know what I mean? But should we open close to the bottom side of the price, of course, you're going to get that wick test right down into this area here that would, you know, push price to the upside. Of course, we would just come up to this zone that I'm talking about for your, this could already be an area for you to consider risk off as a long position in a short day trade. Right, because this would come right back down to find its local higher low, and then this would consider going all the way up to this target that we've already reached. Only from here, we would have one more area to kind of come back and back test, and that would, you know, be let's just say that it would be around 41.93. It looks like it has its own pocket there too. So 41.93, if I can get it. There we go. This would then probably give you, bro, the potentials of an upside continuation into this resistance up here, which is 54.45. When that happens, we had then built the inverse head and shoulders. If you want me to figure what that is, what that's gonna, you know, kind of give us, I'm down, but also don't marry it, right? Because this, you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. We don't want the idea of making all that cash to be, you know, kind of guiding us here. So let me find the regression on that. I can do it from the top up there. It's just a little weird to do it from here, but still it does connect pretty nicely to these, to this bar and to this bar, right? So yeah, you have your shoulder, you have your head, you have your shoulder inverted, right? And from that point, now that we have the neckline, the neckline drawn, let's find the 50% area at that head, and then you know, bring the trend line all the way down towards that bottom of the head, just like this. Right, we'll put it right about there, and we'll take the trend line and apply it to the center of the right-hand shoulder, thus leading price towards a $1.61 zone. Hard target on that 161 would be 157. And I guess I'm just going to give you the liquid tops too, right? 125 is one. Here's another one that's 98.15, all that good stuff, right? Keep your eyes peeled for all these. All of these smaller time frame zones, right? These likely impair your play. You know, they'll show a bit of a resistance, right? But it's for the zigzag, and the zigzag is this, right? So that's just about it here. I'm going to mark this off as an area that's red. Right, just because you can go ahead and take advantage of these take profit targets. Yeah, but it does have closing probabilities of retracement. This is a statistical probability at this point. You know what I mean? So let's slap on some of those receipts on this, man, and leave you with the you know, leave you with your decision to make whether to risk on today or risk on Monday. To me, bro, especially with assets like these are they're very high risk, right? So overnight exposure is always kind of a deal. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And of course, guys, these upper bounds that I'm drawing here, these are also just local resistances, right? It's just for you to take you just take a look at it, and I mean, you make the decision. You find out if this thing is actually for you or not, right? And then you continue. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to be as like organized as I can be here, because this thing tends to get messy. They really do. So here you go, guys. And of course, we're just going to get to draw these red, right? We'll just change the color. This is your exit condition 2. I hate my pre and post market blue and orange back there so much. I only do it for the students, right? Just so that they can catch the difference between the areas that are available for trading time frame. So let me just go ahead and diminish that to like a 2. There we go. Press OK, and nice. I can barely see it now. Okay. Oh yeah. We still have a top price up here, don't we? This one, and this one. Okay, bro. Play it safe. I worry about these, man. I really, really do. Let me catch this from right up here. And here you go, buddy. Let me leave you. No problem, bro. Of course, I got you. And sorry, Sebastian, did you? That was, what ticker was it again, bro? WH. You want to look at WHLR for Monday? Damn, finger is holding it up there, man. FNGR is holding. Oh yeah. Okay, buddy, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me take a look at the charts on this side, though. What is it? It sounds familiar, bro. The Wheeler. You think this could squeeze? I mean, damn. It jumped from a close of 326, and it's sitting at 622 right now. Does it have well, I guess we're going to have to check the short exposure on this leading. Check the short exposure on this leading into next week. And see if we still have we want to know what the cost to borrow is and all that good stuff. But dude, and that's right. It did a reverse split here. I will tell you this, dude. Remember this, that anytime we have a bust up like this, it just usually shows continuation to the upside in every time frame. And being that we have the extended trading hours like this, you have a bull flag present, well, that often, kind of it happens. Like we manifest this ourselves. So let's go ahead and catch the psychological target, I guess, first from the bull flag, bottom all the way down to the top. And this does have a non-degen target. So we'll use this bias instead of that ginormous one over there. Those could be outliers, right? So we're going to take the secondary or the primary suggestion for this, that target there, and it would be placed just about there. So that's giving us a target of 867. And we have a topside target here of 1087, dude. Your daily ATR top on this, what could it be? Because it looks like it's loading for the continuation to the upside even now. That looks good. That would be 6. Your daily ATR top is 658. So we're trying to go above that. Let me see your daily time. We're at 1 hour to the close and it's already decompressed to its 50%. This is finding support here somewhere, dude. Let's see. Okay, there is support at 586. Hang on. 580. Where it's sitting right now is a support, but 586 is one. And that comes down to dang, dude. I would say, oh, it bounced off to 586, huh? And then 558. So dude, this thing can focus, bro. It can focus right about. It's like a 50%. Damn, it's getting all dangerous. Here we go. If there is the opportunity, oh my goodness, dude. If there is the opportunity for this to make its deal, catch this bottom. This would be the focus zone here. Liquidity bottom total would be right down at around 557. And like you said, this could be the start. Yeah, look at this. This has a first green like this, gap up, pullback on all that bar, continuation to the upside on the second bar looks, yeah, right here too, right? Second bar, continuation after that gap up. Even these showing the probabilities of upside even after a gap up. Dude, this is looking good. Okay. All right, bro. I like. But I just do that. Yeah, that's the thing, is that I try not to look at volatility when it comes to this. It is a degen play, huh? It's just I really can't look at volatility when it comes to this because it just made that explosive move out of nowhere. So of course everything's going to be favoring an upside like this, brother. But I see it though, and you know, looking at this from also the more macro time frame, like a larger time frame, dude. This weekly in 45 minutes is about to close a freaking gigantic true green outside bar, bottom of the trend, the bullish engulfing. And it makes me feel like it's also a 5-day bullish engulfing too. It is, however, not a true green. But I'm sorry, that just opened a year. Damn, the 4-day 2, the 3-day 2. Man, we just had to open on all that stuff. Look at that 12-hour candle. Wow. Okay, bro. It does. It has a nice area, man. It really does. It looks okay. So you're top of the market on this. That's where it's difficult to read, bro, because this thing will just continue based on all that. Oh, bro, come on. Based on all that huge run, bi-weekly. Dude, I'm going to go and kick somebody. Bro, you're making my head itch. Oh my goodness. These are historic bottoms. Oh my goodness, dude! There's somebody outside. This is historic bottoms, dude. I think the floor is in. You know, I mean, we are. I think the floor is very likely in, bro. Like this looks good. This is a funny play, bro. Yeah. So if I'm gonna give you an honest top side on this, bro. I can't do it. I'm going to do it from the monthly because it's suggesting I can't even do it from there. You got to be kidding me. That doesn't make any sense, dude. Let me see at least the 5-day. No. Okay. We're reaching more realistic numbers in the bi-daily time frame, dude. The bi-daily time frame is suggesting a top side of 946. Wow. I had the target for you at 1095. First target to that was around 882. Yeah, dude. Literally 964, 970 is right in the middle of that. I think we're going there. We're going towards the $9 to $10 zone. $4 up, $5 up. Let's go, brother. And yeah, just the only thing I have to say is that I'm not sure if the downside is, I'm not sure if the support is in, but the downside is certainly in. And this is building a, you know, this is your higher low W. It also could be a shorter time frame bull pennant. To be fair, no, it can't. Sort of, but it's got more regression upside than anything. Yeah, I'm not even going to mess with the pennant because I feel like this is a different formation. I really think it's a higher low. Like W bottom, brother. Okay. So, yeah, bro, that freaking awesome find on this. Awesome find on this play, man. Let's get these targets in there. I know that it's huge. I know that it's huge. But, oh. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. This would be right down here for entry criteria. So bright green. Okay, bro. That looks pretty dang good. Man, nice. Okay, team. Are you going to risk on, dude, or are you already in, or what? Sebastian, are you already in WHLR? It looks pretty good, man. At 562, you did 500 shares? Okay. All right. We're looking good. All right, team. Why don't we go ahead and get some rest, guys? I'm going to start developing some more algorithms here. I got to get my son as well from school and meet. We're going to reconvene back here in the evening, right? And let's connect our hybrid one or our automated traders to the new partnership with us, with Arca. The Femex crypto exchange. But I love you guys very much. I bid you well, right? Reach out to me at arcabulls@gmail.com should you have any questions whatsoever. And I will reciprocate. Okay? All right, team. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. And I'm going to catch you later on tonight, all right? Let's do it, team. Let's do it. Be safe, all. Take care.